I'm back. Okay. Same thing. I'm in mile 7. There is a big hump of shale that they had to move to go make this road. There's the same thing right here. I'm zoomed in too far. Okay. Now, as I drove by, yet again, you can see the direction I was driving from here. I initially saw that 4.0. You're not seeing as wide of a thing, but it's about the same size. But you can see yoink, 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 yoink. Some of it's got roots, some of it doesn't, but there's an obvious cut. I'm right on the edge of an obvious cut where they clear cut. And then all of a sudden, bam, all of these leaners in one spot. I'm going to zoom you back out because I got to show you more. All right, I'm a little bit careful here because now see the shale? Ta-da! Look, it's all split this way. That's what happens in the mountains. When a mountain gets pushed up, the rock actually, as it's getting pushed up, the whole mountain is being pushed up to the bottom and goes like that. So now, instead of being stacked on top of each other, they're sideways. All these layers of shale. That's from subduction, because this is right next to the Moose River, and the Moose River is a fault line. Okay, be a little bit careful. I'm pointing right at it. But try and tell me that all those sticks pointed in the same direction, busted off or not. And that is a big bitch right there, broken off. And that's actually on top of everything else. These couple were pushed over by the bulldozer that pushed in here. But these are added to it, into this mess. That one's added to it. But look at this monster right here. Oop. Just the sheer fact that it looks like something they sleep in is making me whisper. One deep breath. Okay, here we go. And even this planted. There's a lot of these small ones that are just jammed into the ground and not growing here. I don't want to touch too much of this with my hand. Wow. Is this fucking fabulous or what? All these things are stacked in here on purpose. This is not a hide. This is something to keep them away from, if they want to. Let me back up. This will not keep rain off of you. It will keep a lot of sun off of you. And once the snow starts to fall and it gets a layer of snow on top of it, you can dig into it and it will become an igloo. Alright, I'm not going to be able to be stealthy at all here. There is, from this side, they have created a fence. Very hard to walk through. It would not be a very good, trying not to break any of this stuff. It would not be a very good fence for another Bigfoot. Ooh. But a fence made to keep humans from coming directly in here from the road without giving them time to escape, it works pretty damn good. Like that was probably a laneway to start with, and they just stacked it full of stuff. Okay, now I'm back behind this thing, out into the little bit more open. They have plenty of places to book out of here and run. Oh my goodness, does that look beautiful. Your kids have a place to be and play. There are natural boundaries, trees that have either been climbed up and pushed over, because it's too far into the woods. Like this tree right here, and this next tree that's doing the same thing. I mean, wind did not push those down and make them fall over like that. Something very heavy got up in the top of it, probably when there was snow on them. And they're not really big around pine trees, but these things are both pulled down as a fence to the back of this. And this one works really great because there's two of them. Look at that. Perfect fence. And they've been doing it for a while. Here's an older version of it, but that one's on the ground now. Let me get closer to this thing here. Making me nervous. Okay. Now, birch up between the two trees. You can see that I don't think it's been spruced up or fixied up in a little while, but you see all these little twigs on the ground are probably just before winter comes. They come in here and make this. Look at the bedding. Look at all the little stick mat and stuff that they stuffed in here. That's all little broken off pine boughs. Maybe this hasn't been used in a little while. Maybe it wasn't used last year. But there's no doubt in my mind that that's what this is. They put all of these trees pointing into here and then stuffed it full of pine boughs and then put these limbs and stuff up against the back of it, so when it gets 3 feet of snow, they can just burrow into there and it'll be an open cave. And they have obviously filled it full of little sticks. This would not be a hide from the road. This is a wintertime place to live. That is fucking awesome. I don't want to say that's a footprint because it's hard to tell. But if it is, that's a heel print, an old one where the heel was there and the foot extends down into here where it slid. But that was prior to this branch being there. So that's not my step, but that is a huge footprint. Wow. This is cool as shit. Aha, look. You see right here and down through where in the springtime the water might run. Look at this. They use the birches. I can't even tell what they did right there. Did they bendy break one? Or did they bend that whole thing over and break it? This side have, okay, that side has roots. This side also has roots. So it looks to me like they broke this off, and then you can see how that one's like broke like that, but that this one is broke off cleanly. So they grabbed it right there, and then they grabbed on top of it and just snapped it right over and laid it on top of that one. You see this thing right here? Holy smokes. I'm gonna back off from it a little bit and show you again. There's no missing that shit in the woods. No missing that shit at all. That other one's laying on the ground that was busted off from there. So that other one might have gone over to this tree. But you cannot. Now I'm going right down this little pathway. You see deer prints, but nothing else. But you can't miss that in the woods. That is impressive as fuck. Sorry for swearing. And that's like, you walk in across right there, come across the street, get in this little stream bed, go right there, and that's telling you that, hey, there's a den right there. Wow. That is impressive as shit. It's obviously not a deer blind that a human made. There'd be no reason for a person to make that. And I don't think a person could make it like that if they wanted to. Because we would make a lean-to. 2 poles, 1 pole, 2 poles, with a cross pole and a bunch of them down the back. Wait for the snow to get on it, and then dig into the front. It would not be primitive looking like that if a human did it. And driving past it, it just looks like a lump of sticks and stuff, but when you know what you're looking at, or you have been in the woods on purposely looking for stuff like that, you can't miss it. There's no X. It's right there in plain sight, but you can't tell, and you certainly can't tell in the wintertime. That is magnificent. Wow. Bye.